Hey everyone, my name is Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and I am a 14-year online reseller on eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. And I'm also a Whatnot Live reseller. And today, behind me, I have a pretty large Goodwill outlet bins thrift haul. And if you don't know what the outlet bins is, it's where you literally, I call them rolling trash cans. You literally dig through rolling trash cans or big bins full of leftovers from Goodwill or over inventory that they needed to get rid of in hopes of finding things to flip online for a profit. And at my Goodwill bins, I pay $1.59 per pound for everything in my cart as long as I hit 50 pounds. If you don't hit the 50-pound mark, then you pay $1.99 per pound, and that's about a 40 cents difference. And a lot more than when I first started, which was over 10 years ago. And I think it was like 79 cents per pound back then. So it's literally, you put all your stuff in a cart and you roll your cart onto a scale and they weigh it. And however many pounds times $1.59. So I will share with you all of the items I picked up, what I think I'm going to get for them, or some reasons why I picked them up. Now at the bins, sometimes it's a little hard because you're only paying $1 for things, which is a fantastic deal, especially in today's thrifting, markets. But I am trying to be a little bit more specific about the items I'm choosing for 2026. And so I hopefully made better choices. Anyone else like that? You're at a garage sale and it's just $1. It's just $1. Of course I can make money on it. So I'm trying to hone in a little bit, and hopefully we can go over some of the reasons why I picked these items up and what I think, why I think they're going to sell. Now, it's still winter, but people are going to start transitioning over to thinking about spring break, trips, cruises, vacations, and maybe even a little bit of summer. So we still have time to get our sweaters and our heavier items up, but we can start thinking about some transitional weather and transitional pieces. Now, this is the North Face. The North Face. It's a men's size large, and this is kind of like more of a spring or travel piece. Really nice green color, full zip. The North Face does a good job of putting their logos on like the zippers. Each one of these zippers has a logo on them. Really nice spring jacket. It does have the hidden hood behind it, which is really nice. Great for travel, spring. Really nice color on this. Men's. It also has the mesh here, so you could add in some keywords like outdoors, adventure, fishing, camping, those types of things. So really nice, solid pickup. It's probably about a pound. So I paid $1.59. Of course, the North Face is a solid brand that isn't more of an outerwear item, which is really what I stick to in the North Face. If it's just a t-shirt or something, most of the time for North Face, even at the bins, I'm passing now, unless it's something substantial, right? I always say that we need to stack reasons to pick items up, meaning, a good brand or a good size, maybe it's new with tags, a good material, so that we have more reasons to pick up the items and hopefully more reasons for it to sell. Let's see what else we have in here. 3 full bags. Who's going to stick with me for 3 full bags? A lot of my thrift hauls are not that large, but I have new goals in 2026 to list more. So I do really need to hone in on processing more items and making sure I'm picking up enough items to list. This is We the Free. Now, a lot of my Free People items I have been putting in my Whatnot shows, and they're doing pretty well. But this is an extra large, which is kind of, maybe I need to back up a little bit. Kind of unusual for Free People. If you know Free People, it's like all of their stuff is extra small or small, even though it doesn't look like it. Extra large. I was trying to see if there was a viscose and polyester and elastane. I love the purple color. It has a texture to it, like a gauzy kind of texture to it. Great color. I love the little detail in the front there. We the Free. My goal for 2026, especially at the bins, is taking items for $1 and selling them for at least $20. So I'm not picking up an item that I don't think I can get at least $20 for. And hopefully I listened to myself and did that. Because, you know, now this is a very nice scarf. John Hanlon. It is 70% mohair and 30% wool. It is warm, fuzzy, cozy. It does have a fringe. Now, I like picking up things like this because they're a good, like a bundle item, you know, additional item to bring inventory, like people to your store. Look at this color. What a pretty color. Now, if this was not mohair or wool, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. Lightweight. This probably cost 50 cents. Is this my total? Here it is. Proof right here. I got how many pounds this day? Jeez, does it even say? No, it just says soft lines. How do they not have? It has to have. No. There are no pounds on this. I guess I would have to do the math, right? $110. So how many pounds did I get this day? Divided by $1.59 is 69 pounds. The receipt doesn't even say how many pounds that's on it, which is interesting. So all of this was for $110.51 plus tax, but $1.59 per pound. I mean, even though they keep raising the price, you just can't beat that price overall. $110 for 3 full bags and 69 pounds of goods is just such a good price. Ooh, this is a good one. Tadashi Shoji. I don't know why it looks a little bit blurry there. That's interesting. Maybe it's my lighting. Look at this beautiful dress. Now, that is a brand you want to know. Tadashi Shoji. They do more formal, elegant, fancy, event type of items. And a lot, I've only really sold their dresses before. This is a size 4. I love the different like ruching and ruffle layered details. A really pretty dark blue color. You definitely want to know this brand though. Tadashi Shoji. Like I said, more formal type of items. And that's what I'll put into my listing. And yes, I will add all of those keywords. Formal, event, special event, prom, hoko even. And they only were asking $4.99 in the store for it. So I feel like that's a very reasonable price for a dress. Most of my dresses in a regular Goodwill setting these days are at least $6.99 in my area. You guys tell me what your pricing is like for dresses. So for them to only put $4.99 on that is actually pretty good. I think this is a two-piecer. I may show this to my son. It's Peter Millar, definitely a brand you want to, you know, pay attention to. There's the crown that's part of his logo, extra large. And this is a Packers. Now, a lot of times, you know, these brands, unless it is more of a substantial piece like a sweater or outerwear type of thing, sometimes you can get away with selling things with special event logos. Now, this one is kind of interesting that it's a Packers golf invitation. So someone who is a Packers fan may still want this, especially with a lot of the golf. Like if you find anything with a Masters logo on it, those sell really well. And honestly, I'm going to see if my son wants this because he's a Packers fan. If not, it is Peter Millar Summer Comfort and it has the Packers logo on it. So I will market it towards Packers fans. Ooh, look at this beauty. The brand is Talbot's. Extra large, rammy and cotton. Maybe a little late on this. Look how pretty this is. It is double-sided, so it's a nice sweater with kind of more of a holiday. But I feel like this is a little bit more neutral because it doesn't have like a big snowman on it. The buttons are there. It definitely has vintage Y2K vibes, and this is the vintage Talbot's logo. Button-up cardigan and a lot of like festive colors. And I love the silver tone buttons. I would have loved if it was more of like a wool, but that will still do just fine. Look at this pretty piece. Woo, is this a jumpsuit? Or a dress? It's a dress. Sydney from Honolulu. I thought maybe this was a Jam's World. Look at this dress with all this color. Look how pretty this is. It's a full maxi length. Sydney from Honolulu. That's really interesting. So I'll market this the same way I would like a Jam's World. Tropical, beach, vacation, resort, travel. And of course it says Honolulu right in it, Hawaii. Very nice tropical dress. Great for travel. Very pretty. Vacation. Love the colors in that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Here's the deal. Here's a little story for 10 minutes in. Kimmy already has a story for you. Okay, so if you don't know at the bins, especially my bins, it's very competitive. In fact, I was just watching a video where someone was saying that someone stole something out of their cart. I thought someone stole this from me. I must have stuck it in the bottom of the bag so that someone wouldn't. And a lot of people at the bins they have blankets that they bring to cover their carts. I mean, I know it sounds weird, right? You're in this giant warehouse full of plenty of merchandise for everyone. But if someone eyes up something they think is good, they will steal it from your cart. So you have to be careful. And sometimes if you go to the new bins, you can't have your carts right by you, right? So your cart is sitting somewhere else. I thought someone stole it. I've never been so happy in my life to see this. It's Dale of Norway. Yes. If you don't know this brand, you definitely need to. And just in general, if you find any sweaters or really any item that has maybe made in a different substantial country, Norway, Scotland, Italy, Finland, you may want to look at it. This is Dale of Norway, though. This brand itself is a great brand. Dale of Norway. I've never been so happy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, people steal stuff right out of your cart. And I'm in the thick of it because I was going to new bins. And I'm trying to go to the new bins more, although sometimes they can be complete trash. So it's like, it's hit or miss. But I must have, in the thick of the excitement and knowing that everyone was around me, I must have shoved it to the bottom of my cart. And I'm so happy that I'm smarter than I think. Look at this beautiful, oh my gosh. This is another stunner. This will probably pay for my entire haul. I found a Dale of Norway not long ago. I listed it high for $120. I may send out some lower offers to get it moved before the end of winter. It'll probably sell in the $80 to $100 range. Look how pretty this is. Oh man. Dale of Norway. Love the hardware on this. Very pretty blues. It's a size large. 100% cotton. My other one was wool, but still a very pretty piece. Very, very happy and so glad it was still there. Oh my gosh. I've lost sleep over that sweater thinking someone had pulled it from my cart. Now this is rough and needs a little help, but this is vintage Y2K American Eagle made in Hong Kong. A lot of times made in Hong Kong items are vintage Y2K. But it's just one of these, it's got just a bunch of fuzzies. That's what those are, is fuzzies. V-neck, pullover, hooded pullover. We wore these all the time in the Y2K era. I don't know, it's like just a bunch of fuzzies. I'll lint roll this sucker and in a couple minutes it'll be back. But that is a style, more of a style-based piece. Y2K, that's kind of what we wore back then. Toad & Co., another solid bread and butter brand for me, Toad & Co. It is an extra small, but it's a nice dress, and I do well with the Toad & Co. dresses. So I wasn't going to pass it up at the bins. Probably cost me $1. A lot of times their materials are better. Yeah, this is 48% Tencel lyocell and 48% organic cotton and 4% spandex. So a lot of the Toad & Co. items are organic in some way or just a better material. So, although I am slowing down on getting any extra smalls, but that is a good brand. So, and a solid item that I've done well with. Ooh, man, and I got an Eileen Fisher this day. So thankful. Thankful. Eileen Fisher, made in Peru, size large. This is a dress. It is actually like a really dark navy. It has pockets. I'm going to guess it's a Pima cotton or something. It says made in Peru. Oh, 93% organic cotton. What a blessing this was. They were asking $13.99 in the store, so that makes more sense of why it ended up at the bins. Organic cotton, Eileen Fisher. Really can't go wrong with that. If you don't know my girl Eileen, you definitely want to. I talk about her quite often on my channel, and I do, you know, pretty well with her still. Binghamton Knitting Company, made in the USA. Wow, 100% cotton. So this is more of like a nautical, beachy, classic. You know, this is a very classic style for spring and summer, right? The white and navy classic stripe. I love the drawstring here, and the hood gives it more of like a definitely a beachy vibe. Made in Hawaii, or made in USA. Has this big made in USA tag. So that is also a definite selling point. It is a little bit heavier weight, honestly. Keywords, good brand, made in USA, 100% cotton. All of those things will sell that for me. This may end up in my whatnot show. Again, very lovely, like spring summer piece. Carve designs. I don't know if I know that. Carve designs, but it feels like a good material. Yeah. Oh, it's organic cotton. So maybe it won't end up in my whatnot. Organic cotton. Carve. C-A-R-V-E. C-A-R-V-E. Organic cotton. I love finding good materials and good textures. This is a top. Looks like they're going for $20 to $25. Always, when you're looking up your comps, make sure you toggle to sold items so that you can see what they're actually selling for. Here's one that looks very similar to mine. Gauzy blouse, organic cotton. It sold for $23.20 plus shipping, literally like a day ago. And we're moving more towards the gauzy summer type of items since we're at the peak of winter. You know, like I said in the beginning of the video, we'll start transitioning to more travel and summer type of pieces. Ooh, Athleta size large, the Elation Velvet Flare. Okay, so a lot of my Athleta is going into my whatnot shows and doing okay. I normally sell my whatnot items for $5 to $10. If I get a couple bids, it's more 10, but a lot of times my items are going for $5. But Athleta, it's a great size that it's a large, it's velvet, and it's a flare. I love picking up velvet items. And the fact that this is a flare and now the flare and wide leg are back is honestly fantastic. It has a nice stretch to it. So for all those reasons, black velvet, Athleta size large, flare pant, that's for sure a solid 20 for me. Blondie by Stacy Schuyler, made in USA. Another more of a style-based piece here. Made in the USA, vintage Y2K dress. See this? It has a satin finish. It's the one shoulder sleeve, which is actually kind of popular. I love this big old detail here. They only were asking $6.99 for this. $6.59 actually. So again, that's not honestly terrible. And I'll put in all the HOCO event, special event, prom, formal, fancy, all of those keywords. A lot of those dresses, and it's made in the USA, Y2K. They go anywhere between $25, and I've sold dresses like that in $75 range. It really depends on what you have and how many stackable reasons, you know, if it has a brand. There are a couple brands that I do really good with in the Y2K aesthetic. You know, it just kind of depends. Ooh, this is brand new. There's some tags coming out the bottom. It says the Trail 2 rain pant in lavender. Trail 2 rain pant, which is great because we're actually going into that season as well. The brand is Oaki. O-A-K-I. New with tags. And it says right on it, lavender rain pant. So outdoors, rain gear. It says made in Salt Lake City, so that's also good. Brand new with tags. I don't do a lot, honestly, in kids stuff unless I'm putting it in my whatnot. But, well, let's see. Okie rain pant. It's new with tags, so that is also awesome. And we're moving into that season. So 2020, 2019, these are all pre-owned actually. Mine is new with tags. Here is a elastic waist rain pant new that sold for $41. And we're moving into that season, right? So I'll also stack some keywords like hiking, camping, fishing. You know, someone who's going to go hiking on an adventure with their kiddo will want out that type of thing. Brand new with tags. So that's fantastic. Here's another. Oh, Drew Brees, huh? Any Brees fans in the house? They had $13.99 on this in the store. Ended up at the bins. Drew Brees. I'm surprised the t-shirt bros didn't grab this. It is a women's though, which may be a reason why. And it's a unique colors. It's Reebok though. So this has to be vintage or Y2K because Reebok does not do the modern day jersey. Drew Brees. I talk quite a bit about like sportsy type of stuff. I don't do a ton in it, but if, you know, Drew Brees is a huge name. I don't even watch football that much and I know his name. And it's kind of a unique style. Should get that up though because football is going to be ending. But people wear their sports gear, you know, their Packer shirts all year round. Destination 365 plus size 2X. Look at this lovely maxi length dress in a plus size. I love this detail here with the crochet and the little tassels. This is very feminine, boho, peasant, prairie, full maxi length and a plus size. It is lightweight. It has a long slit too as well. So nice and airy. Let's see what kind of material it is. It says it was made from QVC. QVC stuff's really expensive. So, and it's 100% cotton. So lots of reasons to pick this up, right? It is a plus size 2X. A lot of feminine, pretty details here. Style keywords, peasant, boho, bohemian, prairie, long maxi length dress, 100% cotton. And I will put in QVC because people who really like QVC and they know that it's more of an expensive item, they will look for just QVC items. One last item in this. J. Crew size large, 98% organic cotton. So this possibly could end up in my whatnot. I picked it up mainly because of the organic cotton. It is lightweight. It has the gingham checker plaid and it's a button up. Now I think this, let's see, ladies left. So this is a men's size large, J. Crew organic cotton. Really nice though. Classic. If I put it in my one bag down. If I put it on eBay, Poshmark, Depop, I'll layer it with a lot of keywords like preppy, business casual, office, brunch, you know, more of like the dressier type of words going to the office. Wow, this one's overflowing. This video is going to take forever. Did you guys? I hope you guys grabbed a snack because this one is a long one. Lots of good things. Can you believe I get all this for $110? You know, I always need to remind myself that even on a bad day, if I can get a bag or two at this price for especially my solid bread and butter items, it's a good day. Now, a lot of my plus size bins are getting really empty. So I do a very large plus size whatnot show. And I do put plus size in my other shows as well, like my freshly thrifted shows. So I really have to be particular on where I'm putting some of the inventory. Now, I know there's another reseller who talks about plus size chaps. Kaylee Elaine, she's a huge reseller. She has like 100,000 followers. She does all kinds of stuff. And she too That's actually what encouraged me to do this channel. Is I watched Kaylee Elaine for years. She's, I don't know, probably been on YouTube 7, 8, I don't even know how many years at this point. But she would put in things in her video, and I'm like, I sell that all the time. Why can't I do these videos? Or why can't I share that advice or information as well? And this is one of the things that she sells still to this day in plus size is chaps, button-up shirts with some kind of really nice print. This is a solid $20 sale. I love the difference in the buttons. You know, you have to have some selling features, but prints like this do really well. Paisley, floral, mixed print. This also has a little bit of plaid in there. This will sell for 20 bucks. I'll list this for 29 and I'll get 23 to $25, you know, somewhere in the low $20 range, but that's where I want to be for my bread and butter. That was pretty lightweight. I probably paid $1 or less, and I will flip it for at least $20. And I've been flipping that brand in plus size button-up shirts for years and years and years. And I was always like, if Kaylee Elaine can do it, I can do it too. This is, now I think I found several plus size vintage item. This is a Romans. I've sold this brand for years too. Some of it ends up in my whatnot now. Some of it ends up online. But this is a 4X made in the USA top. Again, a big, beautiful print on this with the purples and the blacks. Very classic, feminine. I do like the neckline adds a little bit of detail. Another solid 1 to 20 on that. I believe this is also plus size. Yeah, I found a couple. Is this Romans again? Ooh, this is a 6X in Romans, which is very hard to find that large of a size. Most of the time, if I find 4X, that's good. I don't normally get a whole lot bigger than that. Another lovely, pretty print. It is a full button down, which is nice. 6X. This is again a 1 to 20 all day. That will list at 29, and it since it's a 6X, and it might even go for a little bit more. Size medium, pure J. Jill linen. Size medium, solid black. I love linen pieces from J. Jill. That's one of my bread and butter brands, 100% linen. I'll put in keywords like lag and look, classic, you know, beach. You can go all the resort travel, light, airy, breathable, but pure Jill or J. Jill linen does really well for me. This is really lightweight. What is this? This feels nice though. Theory, another designer brand I talk about on my channel here that I know some people pass on. It sometimes does sit a little bit longer. Some of my designer brands do. It's like I might get $30 for this, 25 to 30, but it may take longer to sell. This is 100% silk though. I could feel it. 100% silk. Theory. Yeah, this is all day. I'll probably list this at $39 because the brand is a designer brand. Very pricey. You'd be surprised at how much this went for when you bought it brand new in the store. And, gosh, it's light. Let's weigh it. Let's weigh it. Let's see. How much does this weigh? 3 ounces. So if I paid $1.59, 3 ounces is what, like 1/6? I paid 40 cents for this Theory silk top. It is a size small. Ideally, it would have been a larger size, and I'm being really picky about picking up the small, specifically extra small or small. Right off the bat, 25, 28, 25, 28, 44. This is $100, but it was brand new. Always make sure you're paying attention to that, of course. 46, 55, 59. You know, there's all kinds of that one, the $59 one was a faux wrap. And a lot of times when you get wrap style items, the style of the blouse, how it wraps around your body, those in dresses as well can do better. This looks like a style-based piece. It's a dress, a skirt, excuse me. This is a, yeah, this is totally a style-based piece. So I love the mix of the colors. I love the mix of, this is velvet and then this is sheer. It is at least a midi, maybe a maxi length skirt. I don't see a brand, which a lot of times I pass on things without the brand. What I'll do is when I go to list this item, I will lay it flat just like this and I'll measure. So I'll put in, you know, whatever this is, 14 inches across or 28 inches around. And then I'll add in a bunch of keywords with this. Fairy, fairy goth, whimsy, whimsical. You could even maybe go art to wear on this. And then, of course, add the materials, the velvet burnout with the sheer. And it even has some sparkles in there. So that will be a very solid style-based item. This, I've literally sold this exact nightgown before. It is a brand I love to sell in like the pajama, house dress, nightgown world. It's, it even's House of Salzburg. Usually, I've literally sold this exact. Look how sweet this is. So you could also go, there it is, Lands of Salzburg. See, they even put their name into their material. Lands of Salzburg. And they just make these really nice nighties, nightgowns, sleep dress in these pretty like prairie cottage core. And it also has the detail like this. I think my last one went around $28. So Lands of Salzburg. Love their little nighties. Very cute. Ooh, this might go into my whatnot show. I do a premium genuine Heek suede made in Holland. I remember picking this up and I did Google it. I did look it up while I was in the bins. Made in Holland, genuine Heek suede, which I forgot what it was. Heek suede. You guys know what that is? H-E-E-K. H-E-E-K, suede. It was like a unique material, but it's made in Holland. It's very rare that I find something made in Holland. Look how cute these little, aren't these the cutest? Little short bibs. Oh my gosh, I just can't. And this is just like the adjustable part of the bibs, so you can have different sizes. I just think this is like the cutest little thing. So cute. Now this, you know, I was having a hard time because there is some makeup on this. If you roll it a different way, obviously you don't see it. So I'm going to have to outline that in my listing. But the brand is a brand you want to know. It's Garnet Hill. Garnet Hill. You know, and a lot of times around the collar area. It can also happen with like sunscreen. But if you have a lot of makeup around the neck, sometimes it'll wear onto the turtle neck or the neckline of the item. But Garnet Hill is a brand to know. I love the color blocking of this. I don't know if it's a good material or not. I can't tell by my hands. Ooh. It's merino wool and organic cotton. So that is another huge selling point of this turtleneck. Like you can't really see it because it's in the inside. So they must, whoever wore this before, must have did like makeup more towards the bottom of their neck. See how it is in the inside? So that's the neckline. Merino wool and wow. Yeah, that is fantastic. And a brand to know, or Garnet Hill. They have pricier pieces as well. This feels amazing, whatever this is. Oh, it's Eileen Fisher. The Fisher Project. Medium large, made of Italian yarn. Oh my gosh. Can I find the tag before you guys leave me? Because I can't find it quick enough. This, oh. There it is. Feels so soft. Mohair and wool. Wow, this feels so nice. So this is like a more of a shawl. So there's no sleeves on this. Like something you would drape over your shoulders. And this really nice, elegant, quiet, luxury, ivory, kind of light cream color. And it is mohair and it is Eileen Fisher. This is light. This only cost me $1 as well. It's so light. Eileen Fisher for $1 at the bins? All day. Man, sometimes I forget how lucky I get. You know, you're working so hard and you're forgetting what you're getting. This was a very good bins haul. What do we have here? Another Eileen Fisher. I was getting lucky that day. Eileen Fisher. Again, this one does have sleeve. This is more of a open front waterfall cardigan. See how this falls like that? Like how you would see a waterfall. This feels nice too. Let's see the material on this one. This is 100% merino wool. Eileen Fisher open front cardigan in a medium. Very nice. What a blessing. What a blessing. Okay, what else do we have? Oh yeah, I forgot. I found new with tags Chicos this day. Now a lot of people pass on Chicos, tailbits. I don't, but I do try to stack the reasons to get it because not every Chicos or tailbits is going to do well for you. But what I will say is they're very expensive pieces. Does this still have the original price on it? It has the part in the back. It says the Chico size 3P, so slimming Bridget slim leg. Oh, it does. Let's see. Does it have the price on it? There you go. $99 is what these pants were. And Tailbits is the same. Their pants are $100 pants. The Bridget Slim, a good size that it's a 16 petite. Usually Chicos and Tailbits are considered more of a modern, a mature brand, meaning it's for middle age or older. But they have a lot of like business casual type of pieces. So obviously anyone can wear it. But I will put those tags in it. New with tags, $99, good size. And lucky for me, since it has a tag, it has all of the information I need right on it. Brand new with tags, $99 is how much people are paying full price in the store. Woo! Looks like I have some shoes and stuff at the bottom here. This is a nice little bag. Feels nice. It has a magnetic closure, which is really nice, like the button. This feels wonderful. It's in good condition. Little, I don't see any brand or anything though. Oh, there is a brand. What is that? Sometimes it's so hard to see. Technic leather. Technic leather. It feels really nice. Nice neutral khaki on the inside. Technic leather. Feels really nice. See if anything comes up. I don't know if that's the brand or just like they're marketing for the material. Really nice, solid black tote bag, made of obviously leather. Has a nice drawstring to it. Heavier weight. Nothing really came up. Technic leather. That just must be like the type of leather. Maybe someone will help us out on this. I am just the recording of this today. Yeah, there's not a whole lot coming up. That's okay. It'll end up somewhere. Maybe in my whatnot. Let's see what kind of shoes we have. Dr. Scholl's. Wow, look at the soles on these. Check your soles. The soles are fantastic. No one like basically even used these. What size are they? They look like a bigger size. These are really cute. So maybe I'll list them. Maybe I'll save them for my spring, summer. I'm doing a spring, summer themed whatnot. They are a size 9.5. Really cute, strappy. Like this is a very classic shoe that everyone would wear. It is a little bit heavier. So let's give her away. Because even the shoes are all by pound, right? So I paid $1.59 per pound. They are 1 pound and 12 ounces. So 2 pounds would be $3.20. It's less than that. So these were about, we'll just say $3 for this pair of shoes. Those are nice though, in great condition. Aquitalia, made in Italy. They were trying to sell them in store for $6.99, which honestly is not a bad price. Aquitalia, look at these shimmer heels. I'll put like office, dressy, dress wear. They're in amazing condition. I don't always get that lucky with the condition of shoes because it's like you look at these bins of shoes and most of them are junk. I'm telling you, like there's a lot that goes into digging through these bins, because you really are, you're going through so much crap, honestly. I know that sounds bad, I know, but you really go through a lot. Let's see. We're going to put in Aquatalia. It says made in Italy heels. Aquatalia. Again, I kind of look for things that say made in Italy, made in whatever. There's a lot of boots and booties that they do. I put in heels. Obviously, a lot of these have heels, but aren't this like dressy formal. I'm assuming I'm going to list them for, a lot of these are going for a lot, actually. 39, 112, 105, 45, 44, just looking up Aquatalia, $66 for a pair of ankle booties, $55. So the brand obviously holds some value there, because here's a similar pair, heel pump shoe, $25 plus shipping. So I'll probably list in the $35 range. They're in excellent condition, lovely, like kind of shimmer. They're so, like, these are in great condition. So again, probably a $3 purchase and a $25 sale. Woo, these are heavy. Oh, two different shoes. Those aren't the same shoe. Let's see if I can get a match here. Oh, these are Wee Junes. I do a lot in the men's loafer category. I like selling them. I do pretty well with them. You know, check the condition, of course. Check your soles. These have a great sole. Look at that. Woo! These are in great condition. I just like selling them. And it's rare that I like selling something specific like that. But you can do a lot of keywords. I already have listings up for this, so I'll just find one of my own and sell similar to get these listed very quickly. And I put in like driving, loafer, business casual, executive, office, preppy, even academia. These are pretty big though. It says handcrafted leather, and the soles are great on these. So I'm going to go higher on these. I'm going to probably list these around $50. Size 13. Made in El Salvador. So great size, great condition. These are a home run, honestly. 50 bucks. Let's see if I can find this other purple shoe. Now it looks like they had a liner in there. Oof. It's just a piece of cardboard, which I find really interesting. The things I do for my job, huh? Wash your hands after this. These are another pair of Wee Junes. So I got lucky, 2 pairs. These I need to wash up a little bit. They're this really nice burgundy purple color. The soles on these ones are a little bit rougher, but the Wee Junes do well for me. Loafers do pretty well for me. These are probably more of a $25 to $35 sale. Love the color on these. They're not in terrible condition. They're pretty good. I just need to give them a little, I'll take a little piece of paper or a paper towel, not a piece of paper, and wash them right up. What else? There's a couple more at the end. Gosh, this is going to be a long one. You're still with me. I know several of you say like you love the longer videos, so hopefully someone's still with me. I do kind of, when I find little, this is like a hook. They use them to put belts and purses in store. And when I find them, I kind of like them for like using for hanging up stuff around my house. I put some of my whatnot items on these hooks. So you can either hook it like that or hook something to it, or you can use this little clippy. So that was at the bottom of the bag. Crocs, the iconic comfort size. Crocs a lot of times will have their size on the bottom. Women's 11. I do a lot in these shoes too. And I like that they're lighter weight at the bins. Strappy Crocs. People are usually surprised that Crocs makes more than just a rubber shoe. They do a lot in strappier women's shoes, and they're very comfortable. It's great that they're such a large size. Women's 11. You know, I get between $20 and $30 pretty consistently for Crocs in a variety of styles. These look nice. Palladium. 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 This is another like hiking, outdoors, adventure type of brand. I Google Lens these at the store and saw that they were selling for like $25 to $35. Again, really great shape. Lately, the shoes have been in such terrible shape, so I'm lucky that I found some kind of shoe. Palladium. I don't know the style offhand, and since my phone's recording me, I can't Google Lens it. Palladium, in general, the brand is doing pretty well for me. And I'll just put in those keywords: hiking, camping. These are just also like a casual shoe, but they have a decent amount of sole on them. If you can find the shoes style, that will help you. And also, yeah, they do a lot in boots. I'm picking up all these boots. They're not like more of this kind of casual walking, hiking type of shoe with this nice sole at the bottom. Hard to say without the style. Woo, one more to go. Wow. Oh my gosh, I remember finding this. This is a great item. I've somehow found, it's rare that you get to find both pieces. Now this is more of a kids brand, but I'm assuming this was an item that had like a mommy and me type of thing, meaning that it's a kids brand, but they sell pairs so that the mom and the child can both wear, or dad and the child can both wear the same outfit for like Christmas pictures, that kind of stuff. Hannah Anderson. This is a great brand. They do a lot in organic. This is 100% organic cotton. Love this cute white and gray stripe. It's a size large, and I do believe this is the adult. And I found both pieces. Hannah Anderson, size large, organic cotton. So again, many features to this. What a lucky find to find both of the pieces. Pajamas, adult large. The brand is great. Hannah Anderson and organic cotton. 2-piece pajama set. This will sell for $25 to $30. Pajamas. Ooh, I haven't found this brand in a long time. Honey Love. Honey Love. Bras I'm trying to be a little bit more particular about, but it's also kind of hard to not pick up bras, especially at the bins, because they're so light. You know, this is probably another item that cost me 50 cents. But Honey Love is a great brand I like to sell in intimates and bras. I haven't found it lately. This is a 1X. Fits the following size, 40CD. Honey Love. Great bra. That'll be a $20 to $25 flip. This was a good day. Thank you, thank you. Cut Loose. Now, usually with this brand, and their tags are one of those tags that you can sometimes not see. You're like, what does that tag say? I don't know why they do that. Usually Cut Loose is more of a beachy, gauzy, lag and look type of brand. So this is a little bit of a different piece for me from them. Usually they have a little bit of a texture, but nonetheless, I do like selling this brand. Cut Loose, size large, cotton and rayon, made in the USA. Just kind of a classic brown and black stripe there. I found this brand a couple times lately at the bins. Bare Bottom. It's a new to me brand. They are an extra, extra large, and I like that it had all the details to it. It says the manufacturing date is May of 2024. So it's a newer brand, 5.5-inch inseam on these. And the sold for this brand was between $20 and $30 sold. And I was kind of surprised for that, still being that it's really not short season. Bare Bottom shorts. And I like that they put the inseam on it. It's very thoughtful. Yeah, 20, 15, 18, 24, 29, 20, 25. So right in that range. And it does seem to be one of those outdoorsy brands, because this person even put in hiking, camping, and they got $24.99 for their used shorts plus shipping. And it's not even in that time frame, right? So I'll list around 29 with the basis of getting between $20 and $25 for these. Also, they are a good size. They were an extra, extra large and a good color. And I love trying out like some new brands. We'll see how that goes. What is this? Don't even, what is this? What? What? You guys have commented before. You're like, what is that? I don't know. What is it? There it is. I remember finding this in a bin. You know, there's no tag on it. You see it? And it feels nice. You know, and sometimes that really gets me when there's no tags. I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is. It's a Lululemon sweater. There's no tag. A lot of times Lululemon has the tag ripped out. There's really no big U. You know, a lot of times, like, you really have to. But then in the back, I remember seeing this little silver thing. Lululemon. That's the only indication. Now, the hard part is I don't know what size it is. There is no tag. So, again, I'm going to have to measure, and I'll have to estimate. It feels really nice, though. This feels like a wool blend to me, for sure. And, you know, there's a couple websites that do Lululemon. Is it Lululemon Addicts? Or there's a couple websites where you can look up the styles. So see how this sleeve goes to more of a ribbed sleeve? Like, details like that will help me identify which style sweater this is. Lululemon. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this whole stack that I got sitting here, I got for $110. Oh my goodness. Okay. Girls from Savoy, size small. There I am, picking up more smalls than I'm supposed to be. I just can't help myself, can I? Yeah, this is merino wool. Merino wool sweater dress, dry clean only. French on reverse, so must be a French brand. I'm also gonna tag like some artsy art to wear, kind of eclectic. And this part, like how the blue goes with the black, right? Like the different textures, the different designs. Sweater, dress, merino wool. Supposed to not be picking up as many smalls, but I think I've had 3 or 4 already in this. Alice and Olivia. This is a great brand. Alice and Olivia. This is a nice little blouse. Pretty green color. Love the details. A little bit of a texture. Bell flare. But the brand itself is one to know. Alice and Olivia. It is silk and cotton. Woo! This is going to be a good one. This will be another $30 to $40 sale. Alice and Olivia is a expensive brand. Silk and cotton. That is great. A big pair of jeans on top here. Everything's overflowing. Now, this is silver jeans. A lot of people pass on silver jeans. I just sold a silver jean literally this week for $25 plus shipping. So they still sell for me at the bins. I'm still willing to pay for them. But part of the problem is in store, can you see that? It says $13.99. So if you go to a regular retail store, I can't do nothing. My English teacher would be so upset with me. For a jean that's $13.99, like, unless it's like a rock revival jean, maybe I can't flip that, right? And $13.99 obviously was too much even for normal consumers. They were like, well, I'm not buying that. And it ends up at the bins, and I pay $2 for it. This is the Suki boot cut. I've sold this many times in a 31, which is a great size. I will add keywords like rodeo, cowgirl, farm, equestrian. Love a good butt pocket with some embroidery details. Sometimes I'll even put the butt pockets as one of my main photos. See how pretty that is? And these will be a $25 sale. So good solid bread and butter. And, you know, an opportunity for me to pick up something that other people might pass on. And that's okay. This is, Nation Ltd. Another good brand to know, Nation Ltd. Size extra small though, made in Peru, but this is a good brand. Really classic, basic item here, solid black, a little bit of a ruffle cap sleeve. Nation Ltd. This is a solid $20, lightweight, made in Peru of 100% Pima cotton. Pima is like the Cadillac of cotton. Good brand. The size is not one of that stackable feature here, right? But a good brand, made in Peru, Pima cotton. And kind of, I'll put in a couple style. You know, this is kind of just a classic blouse. What is this, huh? What is this now? Baltic Born, another good brand. So I did really good. A lot of times, I feel like sometimes my hauls seem to be very heavy on one side. Brands, if I'm lucky, a lot of times style-based, maybe some vintage. This one does seem to have a lot of really good brands. So that's fantastic. Baltic Born is another good brand to know. Baltic Born. They do a lot in like the boho, beach, a lot of summer dresses. This is a acid washed denim shorts romper. Baltic Born. Get to the end here. Here's a little hat. Yorkshire tweed by Moon, woven in England. Authentic little newsboy hat. Again, I love like that scarf way in the beginning, which seemed like it was days and days ago. In this video when I started with the scarf. You know, these are just easy add-on items. It's 3 ounces. So again, I paid 40 cents for this little schoolboy hat. Easy to store, easy to list, and it has all the details right here on the underside. Yorkshire tweed, size large, 7 1/4. So it gives me all the details. By Moon, woven in England. This will take me like 4 minutes to list, and it'll be a $20 sale. And of course, look for all those reasons, like a different material. You have to, you know, stack those reasons. This is Marc Jacobs silk and merino wool. Actually, it says fine merino wool. So that's why I picked this up. Size medium. It needs a pilling, which I don't mind doing, like a sweater shaver pilling. But this is silk and merino wool sweater. Marc Jacobs is expensive. The reselling, oh my gosh, I just realized that. They're owls. Oh my, I saw the little eyes and I'm like, what's staring at me? How cute. They're little owls. Well, now that just added a huge selling point. Cute little owl with the little buttons. Oh my God. Ooh. Okay, well, there's another selling point. It needs a good sweater shave. My sweater shaver will take care of this. It adds on an extra 5 minutes for me to kind of clean it up. Oh my gosh, Marc Jacobs owl sweater in silk and merino wool. Marc Jacobs. But again, Marc Jacobs is a brand that doesn't necessarily sell quickly. There's not a huge sell-through rate on it. So you have to stack the reasons and yet, you know, put some selling points in there. Now that this is owls, look how cute. That just upped the sellability of it, right? Because it's so cute and people love owls. How cute. I just can't. Go Light, women's large. This is a polo shirt. I must have looked up the brand. Go Light. It's really heavily branded. It feels nice. Cotton and Tencel Lyocell. Visit Go Light for info on our Take Back program. Wow, Go Light Polo. Of course, I'll add some keywords, right? Pickleball, golf, tennis. Looks like a bunch of Vineyard Vines is coming up here. They have a Take Back program, which is usually a good sign. Looks like some of them are going between 25 and 29. There's a lot of 29s here. So I'll get, again, very lightweight. This probably cost me 40 cents. And I'll get my $20 to $30. I'll list this at $29 and add in some of the keywords like polo. Obviously, it is a polo. Tennis, golfing, prepping, all of those things. Getting down to the end if you're still with me. Patagonia, what? I must have been working hard this day. Patagonia, size small. Nice. Is this a half zip? Nope, maybe quarter zip. Patagonia. Can't go wrong with that at the bins. I can't believe sometimes I find these things. It's only polyester. So Patagonia, obviously, really you'd like a larger size, better material. Maybe the outerwear does the best. But at the bins, I probably paid $2 for this Patagonia. And it'll sell for $25. This is pretty. What's this? Norwegian Look at this. Oh my gosh. How pretty. Look at the embroidery on this. I love details like that. I love these unique clasps. Norwegian. The brand is Vrikke. V-R-I-K-K-E. Vrikke. Norwegian. 100% wool. Wow. Vrikke. V-R-I-K-K-E. Wool sweater. This is obviously a sweater vest, so maybe a little bit less. My nose always gets itchy when I start going through some of these things. Yeah, there's some, if you find an actual sweater, these sweaters are going for $89, $59. Here's a sweater vest. Here it is right here. With a little bit different of a design. I love my design. I think it's very pretty. And it is on the back as well. Look at that. $42 just sold. Norwegian sweater vest, size large. That was a vest, but some of their actual sweaters are going between, oh my gosh, this one went for $159, $97 used. Vrikke, V-R-I-K-K-E. Very, very pretty. So that's going to go for about 40 bucks. I better get listed, huh? My pile's getting really heavy. Really big over here. I have my bins over here. J. Crew 365. Now, there are a couple brands that I will do in blazers. You go to a thrift store, a lot of times there's racks and racks of blazers, and most of them aren't really worth reselling. J. Crew, the 365 blazer in a size 6. That is one that I will pick up. A lot of the tail bits in a larger size I will pick up. Of course, if they have like good materials, a cashmere, a silk, something like that, I will consider. This is a viscose and nylon. The J. Crew 365 blazer. I would have liked if it was maybe a little bit bigger size. Solid black, career, office, secretary, you know, all of those keywords. That's an easy 25. 20 to 25, right where I need to be. This is style-based, American Eagle. It's that V-neck knit. In my, you know, and ideally you'd have a couple buttons, so it'd be like a Henley button from the Bella Swan. Style-based, knit. I'll put Y2K keywords. That'll go for 20. I sell those quite a bit. Ooh, this looks pretty. Looks like there's 2 pieces to it. How did I get lucky with... we should recap. What are the brands I found today? Patagonia. Dale of Norway. That Vrikke was good, and I didn't even... Silver. Hannah Anderson. You know, there is just so many good brands today. This is definitely a vintage robe. Lorraine. I've sold this vintage brand before. Lorraine. This lovely, like, kind of sea green minty color. Look at this embroidery, like lace with a kind of a pastel color. And it does appear that I have the other piece. These go for... you know, it kind of depends. I've sold them up to $100 before. I've sold a vintage robe set for $150. So I will have to kind of look. I love these little dainty, feminine, but it's the full nighty nightgown, vintage, made in the USA with the robe with it. That is insane. What a great find. And so pretty. Can you imagine this going to a landfill somewhere? No, please no. This should not end up in a landfill. Such a stunning piece with the robe set. I am probably going to list around $50. Vintage, made in the USA, 2-piece robe set with all of these style-based feminine, you know, lacy, floral lace. I'll put satin because the material itself has a satin finish. All those different reasons. And that one will do well. All right, we're at the end. You made it. I'm sending you all the good vibes in the entire world. Oh my gosh. This is vintage jump. We always joke about the different brands back in like the Y2K, 90s, or later eras, like what the brand names were. Jump. Again, so this is dead stock. it is what it is, dead stock, right? So this is brand new, but you can't go to a store and buy it right now because they don't make it anymore. Brand Jump, $79 price tag on this. And this is probably 30 years old. Look at here. You guys remember these tags? If you made it to the end, you get to see a good one here because this special occasion item is not returnable. Well, what was $79 back in 1997? Like $1 million now? Wow, that would have been a big investment. Jump. And it is a paper tag made in the USA. Wow, 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 wow. Halter dress. And again, it'll kind of sell all on its own eventually. Again, some of these style-based dresses do take a while before they will sell, unless it's like right in the HOCO prom. Prom is in the spring. So luckily there are a couple different events that go around. Homecoming is in the beginning of the season of school. Middle, some people have like a winter formal or a winter dance, and then prom is more towards spring. So you do have 3 pretty good opportunities to sell this. Vintage, oh my gosh, and it does have that iridescent finish. If it has this iridescent finish, you definitely want to put iridescent, shiny, and then, because people look for that. The iridescent finish. Wow. This might also pay for my whole haul. Oh, we had that North Face in the beginning, Patagonia, Dale of Norway, some very solid bread and butter like the J. Crew. We have vintage. We have the Hannah Anderson pajama set, Lands of Salzburg. I'm looking through my bin here and seeing what I can remember. A lot of really good brands. Stack the reasons between some of the brand items, and then some of the materials, and then of course some of the styles. Prom, HOCO, event, formal. You could even go fairy on this because it does have some tulle underneath, or tulle, I think people say it's called. So it has a layer that makes it a little bit more flary. This is probably a $99 list for me, you guys, being that it is vintage dead stock. $79 back in 1997. Who wants to do the math? Somebody tell me, what was $79.99 30 years ago? Made in the USA dress. I wonder what Jump. And sometimes looking up these solds, obviously we've talked about this a lot, that you really have to be careful because if it's not in season, shorts, tanks, linens, right now the last 90 days sold on eBay is not going to reflect what you could potentially get in during the peak season, which will be like February, March, April, May, or spring time when people are purchasing those types of items. Right now, a lot of the sweaters are at a peak season. People are wanting them. They're buying them. They're willing to pay a little bit extra. They want it right now. So if you're looking up a vintage Jump dress and it's really not in that time period, things that sold in the last month probably aren't going to reflect as much as when people are purchasing it. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Jump dress. Now, again, the brand being Jump is a little bit harder sometimes. When you get those words in there that could be misconstrued, like if they put a jumper, like a romper type of item. Here's the first one that comes up. Vintage Jump women's fairy dress, Y2K, $39.99. 48, 26, 29, 32, 43, 33, 63, long maxi dress from Jump. So, and most of these are obviously pre-owned. How often do you find a 30-year-old dress with its tag still on? Yeah, going to be a great sale for that one. I'll add in a bunch of keywords and I should have no problem. Definitely like the whimsy fairy style aesthetics there. Fantastic. Here's one kind of similar to mine. Vintage prom dress. Halter, which mine is a halter as well. Pre-owned, sold for $50. Okie dokie. There you have it. Really long haul. Sorry. But I do need to get through some inventory, and I'm having higher listing goals, and I'm ready to get some good inventory up. Love you all so much. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye.